Good morning, everybody. It's about 9:30 in the morning, 7th of June 2019, Morel, Prince Edward Island, en direct de Morel, du village de Morel, sur l'île des Princes-Édouard, pour tous vous qui parlent français. It's about the extent of my French these days. I don't get a lot of practice. So, quick aquaponics update for everybody who's following along, both on Facebook, where I'm going to be streaming this, and YouTube, where I will post it afterwards. So, water's flowing. So let's take a little quick look, and I'll show you what we got going on so far. Alright, spin the camera around here. Click. There we are. Alright, so water's a bit murky, but that's intentional. I added 600 mils of fish emulsion. Total water volume in the system is about 1,200, more like 1,300 liters of water, so it's a very thin solution. But the idea is, if you notice, you can't see the bottom, and that's actually keep algae bloom to a minimum. So I've got a 300 micron screen there over my surface skimmer. This is my water return pipe. This is a temporary rig, I'll talk about that. And so my water supply is down there in the sump. So you can see some water coming out here. So I'll explain to you how this works in just one moment. But that's the quick over. So I have water moving through the system. I'm pretty pleased about that. So let's talk about what we've got. We'll start down here actually. So right there is the pump. You can't see it because, let's say, there's fish emulsion in the water. The fish emulsion is there to do two things, is to jumpstart the beneficial bacteria cycle, as well as provide a, literally intentionally to cloud the water to slow the growth of algae in the system. So water is lifted by the pump, runs along this pipe, and pours into the sump into the fish tank. I've got the pump off right now because when this is running, you can see there's a whole bunch of slashes in this piece of pipe here. That basically drops a curtain of water onto the tank. It's called a sprayer bar, and it's kind of noisy when it's running. So I'll show you what it looks like in a minute. That water then exits the tank one of two ways. Down the bottom here, from a bottom drain, you guys have seen that in a previous video, into this tank. So that's the stilling system. So the idea is there's a piece of pipe that comes up inside this barrel. When the water exits the pipe, it tries to go left or right, hits the side of the barrel, and the water has to turn south, turn down with all the material in it. And of course, that heavy material, fish solids, whatever, gets swept to the bottom, keeps basically going to the bottom of the tank, even if the water starts to curl. And the rate of volume is so low, you can see the surface here doesn't seem to be moving very much. The stuff you're seeing on the surface, by the way, is pollen. That's blow-in. So that's what's called you'll often hear the phrase a radial flow filter. It's not really radial flow, it's more like a mushroom filter because the pattern of the water moves. Then the water comes out of here via surface skimmer into another tank that does the same thing, and this is my bioreactor. What's inside this, you can see there is a mishmash of various material. Those are all intended, there's bioballs, K1 media, there's also K-cups from your Keurig, and there's pop bottle caps in there, which are being used as large-scale surface area. Let's see if we can't get a better look at it from the other side. That cross pipe that's shipping water right now is a temporary fixture, so it's kind of in the way of this, the hatch door. Let's see if I can see this a bit better. So yeah, you can see the mix of material, and you can see that water's being bubbled. So the idea is beneficial bacteria growing in there. They've got a highly oxygenated environment, lots of surface area, and lots of water that's going to be nutrient rich. And so they grow on that. They convert nitrogen, they convert ammonia through the nitrogen cycle to plant food. And then that water gets surface skimmed via this line and returns back to the tank down there. I've got this set up so that it runs as a siphon. If the water level in this tank gets too high, this will suddenly pour a whole bunch of water out and basically shave, 20 mils of water off the top of the tank in just a few seconds. So this will never back up, and these two tanks and these two tanks are all connected in series by what's called a water bridge. So as long as the level in this tank can't ever go higher than essentially the middle of this piece of pipe, then that'll be the case for the other place as well. And so that's that. The last, of course, is this piece of pipe, which is a surface skimmer. As I showed you there, there's a 300 micron skimmer there. That keeps everything down to the size of algae from getting pulled in. That runs along here and into the bioreactor. The idea is if surface skimming with a 300 micron, there shouldn't be anything on that isn't basically just pure ammonia. So give me a sec here. I'm going to turn the pump on. So what I've got out here is a rough tote that I've got all my cabling and everything running into, my air pump, and that's all sealed up, and that way if it rains it keeps the water off the electrical. And that's what it looks like when there's water pouring into the tank. Like I say, it's a little bit noisy. So that's the system. So right now, basically, yesterday what I did was I added a bottle of starter, it's beneficial bacteria in a can essentially, to the system, as well as the fish emulsion, trying to get the system seeded. My mad science experiment, that's a little loud, I'm going to go turn that off. I feel like I'm having to shout over the waterfall behind me here. Turn that off. Whoops. Bright sunlight. Sorry about that. So yeah, so the idea is that this weekend I found out yesterday that my downstairs aquaponics system, the one I've been using for roughing and testing, the pump is dead. So I do have fish in that system, a couple goldfish, and I do have some plants. So my objective for this weekend is going to be getting, I don't know if you can see it back at the fence behind me here, there's a stand and there's some other stuff. So I need to get at least the media grow beds set up. And I want to get my grow pipes set up because I need to get those fish out of the basement. I need to get those plants out of the basement and fully retire the system down there, pending that it's moved. It's coming out of the basement. Where the problem is it's out of sight, out of mind. No one goes to harvest from it or anything. So I'm moving it. So yeah, but the water in that system, of course, is fully seeded, as is a lot of the gravel. So that's going to come out of that system and go out here as a method of jump starting the whole process. Get up ahead of the nitrogen cycle as fast as I can. I think that's it for now. Like I say, so right now I'm filtering water, giving the system a nitrogen source, an ammonia source specifically. And that should get the nitrogen cycle started. I'm expecting 1 to 2 weeks before it's fully cycled, so I can test with goldfish. I'm currently talking to the Aquaculture Council of PEI, looking for a place on the island to get trout. I'm probably going to do 30 trout this year. We'll see. That number may have to go up depending on the minimum order of whatever hatchery I deal with. I can do about 30 fish per tank this size. So if I have to go to 60 fish, that'll... If they have a minimum order size above 50, that's going to get awkward. We'll see. I'm hoping like I say, that 30 will be an okay number. Hang on, trying to think if there's anything else. So yeah, so the next step for this system is putting the overhead, the vertical pieces up, the cross beams up, and mounting the grow pipes. You can see them sitting over there in the background, so that we can start getting some plants. We went to our favorite nursery yesterday, picked up a selection of tomatoes, peppers, beans, herbs, all kinds of good stuff. Again, the objective is to do a tomato sauce garden, for lack of a better way of putting it. Everything I need to make a good couple pots of tomato sauce. We did that. That was how we did things last year, and the results were very good. The sauce was really rich. People enjoyed the taste of the tomatoes so much fresh off the vine last year. In fact, it kind of cut down the size of my sauce pot. So this year I'm doing, because I know what my water chemistry numbers are going to look like, I went twice as many tomatoes. And so I've bought in two selections. One is an Amish paste tomato, same one I used last year. And the other one is a Scotia tomato, which is intentionally for, slicing in sandwiches. I think that's it for now, folks. Thanks very much for joining me. Apologies, by the way, for the sniffing. I got a little bit of case of allergies going on. Apparently I need to go take some antihistamine. But yeah, thanks very much for joining me. Next update will be sometime next week, depending on when I get the first grow bed installed and the grow pipes. So once that's done, I'll do another update. We'll talk about that. Hopefully I'll have more to show you at that point. Thanks very much. We will talk to you again soon. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions about the system, what it is I'm doing, why it is I'm doing, please do leave them below in the comments section below. I would love to hear from you. And take care of yourselves. I hope your gardens are growing. I hope you're doing something that's fun and exciting for yourselves. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.